Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Vitality Stadium. I'm Joe Mills for this Premier League clash between AFC Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. Welcome, and thank you for your company. So, Premier League action returns. We're here on the South Coast. Both teams have designs on European football. Bournemouth currently sitting in 8th spot, Palace in 14th, even though that sounds as if they can't qualify for Europe, it's very, very congested in the middle of the table. So they do still have a reasonable chance of qualifying. In fact, they have 1 foot in the final of a European competition as things stand after their 3-1 win away against Shakhtar Donetsk in the midweek game in the UEFA Conference League. So they are looking good for European qualification anyway. Bournemouth on the weekend, they drew 2-2 against Leeds United in their last outing, and Andoni Iraola makes just the 2 changes. Tyler Adams and Rayan Rocha come back into the side. David Brooks and Ryan Christie drop to the bench. 6 changes made by Oliver Glasner because, of course, Palace were in Poland actually on Thursday evening. So Riyad, Lerma, Devaney, Johnson and Strand Larsen come into the side. Richards, Wharton, Mitchell, Mateta and Sarr drop to the bench. The last time these two sides locked horns was back in October last year, where they played out a 3-3 draw at Selhurst Park. They've only met 20 times in all occasions. Bournemouth winning 6, Palace winning 6 and 8 draws. So there is not much between the two sides at all. So hopefully we'll be in for a good game this afternoon. Robert Jones is the referee. Bournemouth in the home strip of the black and red striped shirts with the black shorts and the black socks. Palace in the red, white and blue. They're in the home strip as well this afternoon. So, to the teams. Bournemouth go with a 4-2-3-1 formation. Djordje Petrovic, the Serbian, is in goal. A back four of Alex Jimenez, James Hill, Marcos Senesi and Adrian Truffert. Alex Scott and Tyler Adams are the holding two. In front of them, we have Rayan Rocha, Junior Krupi and the captain Marcus Tavernier, and Evan Nielsen will lead the line. On the bench for the Cherries, Christos Mandas is the goalkeeper. Then we've got David Brooks, Ryan Christie, Ben Gannon-Doak, Adam Smith, Bafode Diakite, Amin Adli, Enes Unyal and Alex Toth. Oliver Glasner goes with his 3-4-3. In goal is the captain Dean Henderson. A back three of JD Canvo, Maxence Lacroix and Chadi Riyad. The 4 across the middle, Daniel Munoz, Jefferson Lerma, Daichi Kamada and Justin Devaney. And the 3 up top, Brennan Johnson, Jurgen Strand Larsen and Jeremy Pino. On the bench for Palace, they've got 2 keepers. They've not got a lot of bodies to call upon. So Remy Matthews and Walter Benitez. Then we've got Tyrick Mitchell, Ismaila Sarr, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Nathaniel Klein, Adam Wharton, Chris Richards and Rio Cardine. So, it is a dry, if cloudy day here on the South Coast. It's a packed house ahead of this clash. Bournemouth having a great season. Palace, not as much in the league, but as I've said, they are 90 minutes away from qualifying for a European final in that Conference League. So they'll come into this full of confidence after that smash and grab out in Warsaw, which I commentated on in midweek. And so we are set fair for this game this afternoon, one of the earlier kickoffs. And Palace with an outside chance of qualifying for Europe in the league, but if they get to the final of the Conference League and in fact do win it, then they'll qualify automatically next season anyway. But they still will be striving to make it automatic if they can, but it is very congested in the middle of the Premier League table. Bournemouth know a win here this afternoon and they can get up to 6th spot, on the cusp of the Champions League spots in fact. And Bournemouth will be kicking the game off very shortly. They'll be playing from right to left in this first half. Referee checks his watch, checks everything is as it should be. And we're almost ready for action. Evan Nielsen standing over the ball for Bournemouth as we get ready to get underway here. And we're up and running. Ball goes back to Tyler Adams, the American. Long punt downfield straight away. headed away out to that far left-hand side, and then a couple of fouls coming, a couple of Palace players taking tumbles there. One was Kamada and the other was Jefferson Lerma. The foul by Tyler Adams, the American international. So it will be a free kick to Crystal Palace just outside their own penalty area. A dry afternoon, but a cloudy one across most of the UK. The Chadi Riyad sends that back to the captain Henderson. He floats it out to this near side to the Frenchman Canvo, who has swapped sides. He's playing right back this afternoon. Chris Richards on the bench. Ball played out to that far left-hand side, but it was far too hard, and they couldn't keep it in play there. Devenny, so it will be a throw-in for Bournemouth over on that far right-hand side, just about level with the penalty area, and James Hill will come across. So I think Bournemouth here are going to launch in a long throw in this, well, just played over a minute. So Hill with this long throw now, and it comes into the penalty area, headed away by Riyad, and then it comes back out to this far right-hand side. Alex Jimenez, then it's played down the right channel. Adams here, can he get a cross in? Indeed he can. Goes all the way across though, far too strong, and Tavernier can't control it, and it goes out for a Palace throw on this near side near the corner flag. So 90 seconds gone. Fairly bright start from Bournemouth, but Adams will be disappointed with that cross. He's got far too much on that. It sailed out the other side. So throw-in taken quickly, but Palace give the ball away inside their own half. Headed back into the mix there by Truffert. Then head tennis ensues. Strand Larsen with a flicked header infield, and then the ball played down this right channel, but Munoz couldn't get it out of his feet, and now it will be brought out to this left-hand side by Senesi. Truffert tries to play it infield, but that's intercepted, and then the ball chipped down this right-hand flank and then launched downfield by Johnson, but that'll just find James Hill. Bit of a scrappy start to the game, but frenetic as it always is. It just takes a few moments and minutes to settle down. So Palace have it over on that far left-hand side, played into the Norwegian Strand Larsen, but he loses it on halfway. Now Krupi tries to play it down the right flank. It does take a little flick off Chadi Riyad, the Moroccan international, and that will go out for a throw-in to Bournemouth on that far right-hand side. And that's taken quickly. But again, Bournemouth lose the ball inside the Palace half, and then a foul comes in from Krupi. So it is very scrappy at the moment. Both teams guilty of giving the ball away. Just trying to feel each other out. 3 minutes gone. Second free kick of the afternoon already for Crystal Palace. And Riyad decides that he will take it. Goes long, looking for the head of Strand Larsen. Hill wins the header. Then it's headed back down towards the edge of the Bournemouth penalty area. Here's Truffert, now Senesi. This is Alex Jimenez. Long punt downfield, down that right channel again, looking for the run of Rayan Rocha, the Brazilian. And the ball goes out of play. Over on that far side. As the sun pokes through the clouds here on the Dorset coast. And it will be a throw-in over on that far side. Just over 4 minutes gone. 0-0 here. Well, there's someone in the crowd there that they were taking a great deal of interest in, and it would be more helpful if they actually focused on what's happening on the pitch. So I could tell you now that the ball is at the feet of Dean Henderson. It's quite annoying when they do that. Now then, here's Riyad, plays the ball upfield, picked up by Kamada, and he'll bring it forward now for the Japanese international. He was excellent in Krakow on Thursday evening. The ball comes all the way back, though, to Maxence Lacroix. He plays it out, but it's a misplaced pass, only finds Jimenez, but then he gives the ball away. Then it comes down this left-hand side. Here is now Yeremy Pino, the Spaniard. Long diagonal ball, and it's a good one too. Johnson's on it, inside the penalty area, down this left-hand side. Sends it back to the touchline. booming cross comes in towards the back post, but it's far too strong. Tavernier will get to it before Munoz, and now the Bournemouth captain will bring it away, and he plays a fantastic pass down this left-hand channel, and Canvo has bundled over Evanilson, and the young Frenchman is going into the book already. Robert Jones brings out the yellow card. Excellent pass down the line there, and Evanilson had got in round the back of Canvo, and the Frenchman just came across him, shoulder barged him to the ground. Not sure he had a choice there, but it's not ideal when one of your back three gets booked after just almost 6 minutes. So I'm sure they will target that side. So a free kick to Bournemouth about 22 yards out, just on the edge, the left-hand edge of the penalty area. And Alex Scott and Marcus Tavernier standing over this for the Cherries. It's in a pretty good spot, this, for an in-swinging free kick. In fact, it's tempting to have a shot here, but everyone else is inside the penalty area. So Scott, if it's Scott, it will be an in-swinger. If it's Tavernier, it'll be an out-swinger. Scott plays it along the floor, flicked on and headed away by Strand Larsen, but only to the edge of the area. Senesi heads it back in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Head tennis once again, and then it's finally cleared away downfield by Palace from the byline, and it comes straight to Alex Jimenez just inside the Palace half. Clever free kick, that. I think we're all expecting a floater. Here is Tavernier. Back to Truffert on halfway. Now it comes out to Alex Scott on this near side. Overlapping run by the Frenchman Truffert. He gets the ball from Tavernier. Now to Senesi. Now Tyler Adams across to James Hill. And then Jimenez on that far right-hand side. Bleach blonde hair, cuts in field. Krupi, well, couldn't get the ball out of his feet, but the ball squirts back to the halfway line, so Bournemouth will retain possession here, and Hill will bring it forward. Chips the ball out to this left-hand side, but it's well defended there by Munoz. And the long ball downfield. Strand Larsen brings it down, looping ball over the top, but that's only going to find James Hill, who will return it to the feet of Djordje Petrovic. And now here is Jimenez on that far right-hand side. Ball comes infield to Krupi. Nice little turn there to get away. Referee plays advantage. He was a little tug on him there. Now Truffert on this near side. Tavernier cuts in on that left foot into centre field now, 30 yards out. Squares it across to Hill. Now it comes to Jimenez on that far right-hand side, trying to get in round Munoz for the cross from the byline. Good sliding tackle there from the Colombian, and that will be the first corner of the afternoon, and it will go the way of the Cherries after just over 8 minutes. Still 0-0. Wonderfully timed tackle there from Munoz. Sliding effort. So a corner for Bournemouth over on that far side. Will be the captain, Marcus Tavernier. Will be an in-swinging corner. So Tavernier places the ball down, takes a little step, whips the ball in towards the near post, punched away by Henderson, and then Strand Larsen finishes the job, but they don't quite get it away, and now they've lost it on the edge of the area. Shot from Krupi, blocked on the edge of the Palace area. They get the ball back here, Bournemouth. They try a little curling shot there from Rayan, and I think that may have taken a deflection as it sailed over the crossbar, and it will be another corner for Bournemouth, this time on the near side. Palace not quite doing the job there of getting that ball cleared away. It was given away on the edge of the area by Justin Deveni. Yeah, that took a deflection off Munoz. So Alex Scott now will take the corner on this near side. In-swinging effort. Glancing header! Oh, it's hit the far post and then punched away. Well, what's happened here? It's a goal. The referee points at his watch. That obviously crossed the line. And that is 1-0 Bournemouth. Glancing header there. Just under 10 minutes gone. I think it came off the head of Evanilson. It hit the far post, but it obviously crossed the line before Dean Henderson was able to punch it clear. Let's have another look at this. Yes, in fact, it was the glancing header from Evan Nielsen, and then I think it came off Riyad, I think, who tried to stop it. Yeah, and he got it all horribly wrong. And it crossed over the line before Henderson could clear it. In fact, it's Jefferson Lerma at the back post. Couldn't get his body shape right. Tried to head it clear and ended up heading it back over his own line before it was punched away by Henderson. But the ball just crept over the whitewash there. And the referee obviously got the signal on his watch. We have the goal line technology. And Bournemouth are ahead here at the Vitality as the sun breaks out now as if to welcome that goal. And now another long ball downfield. Evan Nielsen's got him behind Lacroix, but Lacroix recovers very quickly there, the Frenchman, and sends it back to Dean Henderson. Just a long ball through the middle there. And the Brazilian striker momentarily in behind that Palace back three. But Maxence Lacroix showed his pace there and poise and recovered the situation. Palace have it now with Henderson. He drills it up the middle of the field. Bournemouth player's gone down, but it breaks for Munoz on this near side, just inside the Bournemouth half. Now here's Lerma. Now Lacroix. This is played down this left side. Now Daichi Kamada. Here's Deveni on that far side. Rolls it back to the feet here of Chadi Riyad. And suddenly it's back in with the feet of Lacroix. He fires the ball at Canvo. Does well to control that. Sends it back to Maxence Lacroix. Edge of the centre circle now in centre field. 12 minutes gone. Bournemouth 1, Crystal Palace 0. I suppose you could put that down as an own goal. I'll have to see what the official word is there, but definitely the last touch was off the head of Jefferson Lerma. It looked from the initial angle that it had gone in off the post, but that's because Lerma was so close to the post and it just got punched away, but it definitely crossed the line off the head of Lerma, so we'll go with that for the time being. Evan Nielsen will maybe want to claim it, but I can't see that it would be. Anyway, here's Munoz. Back to Canvo. Now Lerma. Now Lacroix. Nice little drop of the shoulder there to get away from Krupi. Now Canvo on this near side. This is Munoz. Oh, that's a heavy touch from the Colombian, and they've lost the ball here. Here's Krupi, edge of the area. Right-footed shot, but he couldn't get enough power on it, and it was a bit of a worm burner. Right, trickling through to Dean Henderson, and that was because of the pressure put on him there by Lacroix, but that was careless from Munoz. And there's obviously a little bit of a hangover from Thursday night from that trip out to Poland for Palace here. They need to wake up. Kamada brings it forward, then puts the brakes on, and then he's lost the ball. He just mishit it. Now it's poked through. Evan Nielsen in the area, left-hand side. He was a little bit off balance as he drilled that with his left foot, but I think it might have taken a touch over the bar from Henderson. But Kamada there, he had the ball at his feet, and then he just got his boot stuck in the ground, and the ball just squirted forward. Bournemouth pounced on it, stabbed forward for Evan Nielsen, left-footed shot, and I'm not sure if it did catch the fingertips of Dean Henderson. Just looking at the ball back here, the whole ball was over the line there as Henderson clawed it out, but it was in vain. 14 minutes gone, Bournemouth 1, Crystal Palace 0, and that didn't touch Henderson's hand, so it was a goal kick. Here is Chadi Riyad, the Moroccan, just up to the halfway line. Plays it across to Canvo. And Petrovic has not been tested at all at the moment. Palace been very much on the back foot since we started this game. Munoz back to Canvo. Palace now just trying to slow this down, and that's another loose ball from Lacroix. And well, Kamada's done brilliantly there to come steaming back to gather it in before it went out of play, but just very sloppy at the moment from Palace. Strand Larsen can't hold that ball up near the centre circle, and the ball breaks here for Alex Scott. Now Tavernier on halfway. Bournemouth looking very dominant here. And of course it's difficult for Palace because Bournemouth have had that extra few days rest from their last game against Leeds United. Palace, of course, being in European action, it's been a quick turnaround for them. And the travel back from Poland as well. Foul came in over on that far side, but the referee has said play on. Long ball down that channel from James Hill, but it just falls to the feet of Chadi Riyad. 15.5 minutes gone. Bournemouth, as it stands, are now up to 6th spot, leaping above Brentford and above Brighton. But Champions League football is really a pipe dream. They're 6 points behind Villa, who have a game in hand. They'll be playing later today. And there's only 3 games left. Here comes Kamada now, herring down this left-hand side. Here's Devaney, the Northern Irishman, chips the ball back, but it's poor again. It's just given it away. Awful pass from Devaney. And now Bournemouth come downfield with Scott. It's just really basic stuff from Palace at the moment. And Oliver Glasner's out in his technical area, and he's absolutely livid, the Austrian. It's just really poor, this, from Palace. Underhit passes. That's about the 3rd or 4th one. And it's just killing them at the moment. Now Senesi comes forward. He's off to Tottenham if they stay up at the end of the season. If you believe what the press are saying, I think it's a done deal. Now here's Alex Jimenez on that far side. Krupi gets it back to Jimenez. Now James Hill. Senesi inside the centre circle. Tries to play a ball through the middle. Ricochets off the back of Jefferson Lerma. And then just hacked downfield by Chadi Riyad. But again, that was aimless. Just went straight down through to Petrovic. Now, nice turn from Evan Nielsen inside the Palace half. Slots a nice ball through here to the feet of Krupi. Oh, he's just dispossessed on the edge of the area. And Palace again struggling to get the ball out of their own half. But now they get it out to Munoz on this near side. Rolls it back to Lerma. And then a long crossfield pass. But again, it's poor. Devaney can't keep it in. Wasn't his fault. Just too strong. And that's another waste from Crystal Palace. They're not doing themselves any favours at all here. Throw in for Bournemouth. And it will be Jimenez who will be the man to take it. In what is again another crucial day in the Premier League. The huge fixture of Manchester United against Liverpool coming up later on this afternoon, and then a massive game this evening where Aston Villa take on Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs know that if they can get something there, then they'll be out of the bottom 3 after West Ham were hammered by Brentford yesterday. So much riding on it at both ends of the table. And that's a foul, is it? No, the referee has played advantage. So Alex Scott has the ball in centre field here. Comes out to Tavernier on this near side. Cuts in again on that left foot. Alex Scott. He slips as he plays that crossfield ball, but it does come to the feet of Jimenez. Whips the ball in, glancing header. Oh, goodness me, that was a good chance on the edge of the 6-yard box. I think it was Rayan Rocha. Yeah, he got to that. Oh, he should have done better there. He's put that over the crossbar. Not sure, he just couldn't get down over the top of it to direct it downwards. So, yeah, big day in the Premier League. Of course, Manchester United in 3rd, Liverpool in 4th. So Liverpool will know they can get level with United if they can win this afternoon on 61 points. But to be honest, I think those two are pretty much guaranteed Champions League football next season. Villa, of course, if they can beat Tottenham tonight, they'll be pretty much certain of Champions League football as well. So there's a lot riding on it. Spurs absolutely desperate to back up that horrible win against Wolves, which gave them that lifeline. So all to play for. Only 3 games remaining after this weekend. Palace. It is a long shot for them to do it automatically, so they'll be counting on trying to win the first European competition in their history. as they take on Shakhtar Donetsk in the week, next week. But at the moment, they've not really got off the bus here. 20 minutes gone. They trail by a goal to nil. It's been a really sloppy performance so far. And Oliver Glasner and his coaching staff do not look particularly enchanted down there in the technical area. It is a corner for Bournemouth after that poor back pass. Third corner of the afternoon. Alex Scott will take it on this near side. Deep breaths. Ball is whipped in towards the back post. Glancing header. And came off, I think, Chadi Riyad. So it will be a corner on the other side now for Bournemouth. There's the pressure starting to mount on the Eagles here, who have not tested the keeper. They've not been down that end, to be fair. Barely have been down the Bournemouth end, and they certainly haven't had a shot on target or anything resembling like that so far. 21 minutes on the clock. Sun is out now, shining brightly as that corner is whipped in towards the back post. Comes off the head of Lerma, and it's another corner on this near side. So it's just going corner from side to side here. I think Lerma should have got a shout there. I think if he'd left that, that would have gone all the way out for a goal kick, because it was a bit strong, that corner. So Scott places the ball down once again for the fifth corner. 21.5 minutes gone. So Scott whips the ball in again towards the back post. It's headed clear by Palace. Can they keep it in over on that far side? They can, just about. Good work from Justin Devaney. And then he chips the ball downfield here, looking for the run of Brennan Johnson, but it's brought down neatly by Truffert. He knew he had to get that right. Jimenez plays the ball up that right channel. Tavernier does well to hold it up with his back to the halfway line. Now the long ball from Senesi right through the middle, and Dean Henderson comes out of his goal, clears it downfield, but it goes straight to Alex Scott, but he loses it to Munoz. Now then, can Johnson bring it up the field? Now Kamada on halfway. Nice bit of skill there, and again nearly a loose pass. He tried to find Lerma and again just mishit it. Ball chipped over the top now. Strand Larsen with his back to goal, heads it back to the feet of Brennan Johnson, who tries to gather it in on the edge of the semicircle there, but Bournemouth win the ball back, and then a nice turn from Rocha down that right hand side as Bournemouth look to come forward again down this right hand flank, but Palace deal with it. And now Lacroix, has he won a throw in for his team? He has, off the boot of Evan Nielsen. It's a pretty beautiful touch there from Junior Krupi as Riyad came steaming in behind him. He just flicked it round him. So we're halfway through this first half. Bournemouth leading by a goal to nil. And it wasn't an own goal. It is a confirmed own goal on 10 minutes from Jefferson Lerma. Tried to head the ball away at the back post after it was a glancing header from Evan Nielsen, and ended up putting it over his own line before Dean Henderson could claw it away. The goal line technology ruled that it had crossed the line, didn't hit the back of the net at all. Henderson was very close to saving the ball from the head of Lerma. Now ball played through the middle there, but it just avoids Krupi. It trickles through to Dean Henderson. Again, Oliver Glasner out in his technical area. Just seem to have settled down a little bit now, Palace, after a really poor start to this game. Bournemouth, of course, been in great form, and they are very, very good on this ground, of course. So Palace needed to be on it today, and they've been way off it so far. Foul comes in from Lacroix. Foul in the middle of the pitch there. I'm just trying to see who it is that's gone down. I think it's Evan Nielsen. He stayed down, but he's back up on his feet now. So it will be a free kick to Bournemouth, just outside the centre circle, in centre field, inside the Crystal Palace half. Andoni Iraola, all in black, still sat in his chair. Scott goes short and to the left. Tavernier then whips in a gorgeous ball to the back post. It sails over the head of Dean Henderson and out for a goal kick, but that was a dangerous one. Again here, Bournemouth lurking at the back post. It was Rayan Rocha, just couldn't quite get to it because he had Lerma in front of him, who just did enough to see that ball out. Henderson will place this down on the 6-yard line, waves everybody downfield. The sun comes out now. 6 attempts for Bournemouth, only the one on target. Palace have had nothing. They've offered absolutely nothing at this end of the field, but they might have a chance here because that's a foul on Lerma. A shove in the back there on the Colombian. So a free kick to Palace inside the Bournemouth half on this near side. 26 minutes gone. Well, I'm not sure that was a shove, actually. I think he just fell over the ball there. Evan Nielsen penalised, so it will be Yeremy Pino with this free kick. Halfway inside the Bournemouth half, probably about 5 or 6 yards in from touch on this near side. Big clutch of players on the edge of the penalty area. Long diagonal crossfield ball. That's rotten, absolutely rotten. Straight to the feet of Alex Scott, and again just symptomatic of how dreadful Palace have been so far in this first half. And now Bournemouth pick the ball up. Oh, there's nobody at home here. Tavernier's in on the left-hand side, drills in at the feet. Good save, Henderson saved it with his feet, but they still haven't cleared the danger. Truefair chips it to the back post. There's nobody there, but they were hit on the counter there, and there was absolutely nobody at home on this near side, and Tavernier will be disappointed that he wasn't more clinical there. But a good save with his feet from Dean Henderson, the captain. Palace there, goodness me, absolutely AWOL on this near side, and that was a good opportunity there for Bournemouth. It was a header from Riyad back into the Bournemouth half, and Bournemouth picked it up on halfway. It was just a diagonal ball out to the left. There was absolutely nobody there. Camvo, to his credit, did probably just about enough to spook Tavernier a little bit. He got a clean shot in, but it was saved by the legs of Dean Henderson because it was straight at him. Camvo was absolutely AWOL there, but I think just about did enough to push Tavernier out a little bit to make the angle a bit more acute. But Bournemouth have got themselves another throw here, level with the penalty area on that far side, and again it's going to be a dangerous long throw. James Hill readying himself here. 28 minutes gone. Long throw comes in from Hill. Henderson quickly off his line. He gathered it, then dropped it, and then a Bournemouth player's gone down in the area. What's the referee doing here? He's pointing at something. Is it a penalty? Well, there's pushing and shoving going on. Bit of afters there between Tyler Adams and Dean Henderson. Adams having to be shepherded away. Well, Henderson came out of his area, collected it beautifully, and as he was coming down with the ball, he ended up dropping it. And then a Bournemouth player hit the deck. I think a penalty's been given here. Extraordinary. I have to have a look at that again. So the long throw, Henderson comes out to gather it, then drops it, and then as he tried to regather it, he clips the heel here of Marcus Senesi with his knee. And Senesi went down. Yeah, well, that is harsh. That is very harsh on Dean Henderson there. I think they're still talking about this. The referee has awarded the penalty initially, but that is very, very harsh on Dean Henderson if this is given. I'm not surprised that Henderson reacted the way he did. he just lunged forward to, as a keeper would, to try and regather the ball. Senesi wasn't even facing the Palace goal. He was trotting off in the other direction. And as Henderson came forward, he's just clipped Senesi's heel with his knee. But Senesi, for goodness sake, Senesi's not even facing the goal. He's going off in the other direction. So this has been referred back upstairs. That is not a penalty for me. Not remotely a penalty. And the two captains from both teams now having a chat inside the penalty area. We're still waiting for a decision here. And, well, I think the penalty's going to stand. Well, that is harsh. That is really harsh. I think that's the wrong decision. I think that is a really harsh decision on Crystal Palace. But Junior Krupi now, the Frenchman, has the opportunity just over the half-hour mark to put Bournemouth 2 ahead, and you just can't see Palace coming back into this today. They've been woeful. So, Krupi steps up, right-footed, little pause, and then drills it into the bottom left-hand corner. Clinical stuff from the young Frenchman. Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 0, 31 minutes gone. And the way Palace have played so far, you just cannot see them coming back into this. Bournemouth are too good, especially on home soil. But that is a harsh penalty for me. Oliver Glasner has a face like thunder. And I can't say that I blame him there, to be honest. That was a beautifully taken penalty. Peeled out to the left, little stutter, and then curled it along the floor, right-footed into that bottom left-hand corner. It was clever, that, from Krupi, because he opened up his body as if to say that he was going to go out to the right corner and then just curled his foot around it. But that's harsh on Dean Henderson. It really is. He gathered the ball, but as he came down, he clattered into Canvo, which meant that's what made him spill the ball. And then as he went forward, Senesi, his knee just caught Senesi's heel. And as I said, Senesi was going in the opposite direction. And Bournemouth have got another free kick here now, just inside their own half. 32 and a half minutes gone. It's Alex Scott, the man who went down. He's saying that he was on the receiving end of an elbow there. See it in back play. Ooh, well, it was Lerma. He's left one on him there. But, no case to answer, I don't feel. Scott's back up on his feet. Just a free kick given, just to the side of the centre circle. Senesi rolls it across to James Hill, and then it comes back to Petrovic, who's been a mere spectator this afternoon. Here is Adrien Truffert, has to put the brakes on. Brendan Johnson pressing him. And now another long ball downfield, but it's too strong. Although Rayan had got in behind that back three once again. But it went all the way through to Henderson. Yeah, Palace look very much like a side that only played on Thursday and have had travel. 6 changes made today by Oliver Glasner, and it's not worked. They look very disjointed. They've been really sloppy on the ball. And Bournemouth are too good to do that against. And that's, well, Palace play has gone down. Strand Larsen, as he challenged for that header with Tyler Adams. Referee has said play on. Bournemouth have it at the back now. Then it comes back to Petrovic. Strand Larsen's back up on his feet. Here is James Hill. Now Alex Scott, just shy of the centre circle. Tyler Adams comes out to Jimenez on that far side. Gets the 1-2 and he carries on down the line. And that's a booming cross, but a poor one. Far too much on that from the Spaniard. And it goes sailing out for a goal kick. 34 and a half minutes gone. Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 0. Palace have yet to muster a single attempt on goal. Oliver Glasner looks thoroughly cheesed off. Sat down in his technical area in the dugout there, arms folded. looking very, very grumpy indeed. I'm not surprised. Here is Jimenez for Bournemouth, up to the halfway line. Well done there, Krupi. Held it up with his back to the halfway line, sends it back to James Hill. Now Senesi will bring it forward here, the Argentinian. He has Truffert to his left, but he goes through the middle. Lacroix, though, wins the header, and then Canvo chips it up to the halfway line, but Strand Larsen can't gather. But then it momentarily broke for Brennan Johnson, but it was a heavy touch from the Welshman, but cleared out for a throw-in to Palace inside the Bournemouth half. Taken quickly by Munoz, but awful touch by Johnson, and they lose the ball again. This is dreadful. This is utterly dreadful from Palace. It's just the basics. They can't keep hold of the ball. And then a long ball downfield, but it sails all the way through to Henderson, who quickly rolls it out for Canvo. Ball comes into Lerma. Now back to Lacroix. Now Riyad tries to get the ball forward, but forced to turn back, sends it back to Lacroix. He's being hounded here by Rayan Rocha. Now Devaney tries the long ball down the left channel for the run here, and Strand Larsen will get to this before Hill, but Hill puts the ball out for a throw-in. So a chance here for Palace finally. Maybe they're going to go for the long throw here. They've got to try and do something, because they've created absolutely nothing. And it is going to be the long throw, level with the edge of the penalty area. It'll be Jefferson Lerma with this long throw. 36.5 minutes gone. Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 0. And now in comes the long throw from Lerma, but a powerful header out to the edge of the box, and then it's hacked downfield. So, and it goes all the way down to Henderson, who's way out of his area. In fact, he's almost near the centre circle. Puts his foot on the ball. Now here's Lacroix, 37 gone. So didn't even manage to muster anything from that long throw. Here's Daichi Kamada. Just got nowhere to go. Rolls it back to Henderson. So lacklustre this from Palace. No energy or inventiveness about them at all. Long ball downfield from Henderson. Sails over the head of Brennan Johnson, and it will be picked up by Tavernier. Senesi back to he's given the ball away momentarily there, but Strand Larsen couldn't keep hold of it. And now Bournemouth release Truffert down this near side, and this looks dangerous again. He cuts in field, gets away, and well, Lacroix's going to get booked here. He tugs him back on the edge of the penalty area. So Canvo and Lacroix now in the book. This is not looking good for Palace at all. They're being torn apart on the flanks. Nice drop of the shoulder there from Truffert, cut in on his left foot, and Lacroix tugged him over. So a free kick to Bournemouth on the edge of the penalty area on this near side, just on the apex of the 18-yard box. Again, Scott and Tavernier standing over this. 38 minutes gone, 2-0. And another really good opportunity here. This is pretty much where they had that free kick earlier, which went along the ground. So, in-swinger from Scott or an out-swinger from Tavernier. Scott is the man with his arm raised. Little shimmy, then whips it in, punched away by Henderson and out for a corner. It was heading for the top corner, but he had it covered. It was straight at the England keeper, and wasn't taking any chances with trying to catch it. Punches it out for Bournemouth's 7th corner of the first half. And Tavernier will come across to take this. 6 minutes of normal time remaining in this first half. Bournemouth very comfortable here, leading by 2-0. So Tavernier with this in-swinging corner. In it comes from the Bournemouth captain, headed away by Lacroix, and then a looping ball back in from Truffert, but it just loops up high into the arms of Dean Henderson. Overarm throw out to this near side, gathered in by JD Canvo. Now here is Lerma, being hounded there by Scott. Now Chadi Riyad. They've just got nothing in midfield here, Palace. There's nothing happening. Riyad here stood with the ball, and there's no movement, there's no enthusiasm, there's nothing. Here's Lacroix, edge of the centre circle, plays it up through the middle. Kamada now out to Devaney, but then he tracks back. It's just going sideways and backwards here. Back to Riyad, and then all the way back to Henderson. It's rubbish, this, from Palace. This is Lacroix. Lerma, edge of the centre circle, but again they're just being suffocated inside their own half. Can't seem to find any space. Here's Riyad, Lerma, now Devaney on that far side. Back to Chadi Riyad. But again, it's just looking for players. He plays it through. That was a foul by Jimenez. No. And they lose the ball again, Palace. And Bournemouth hit now on the counter. Space for Tavernier, but it went behind him. He will gather it in, though, before Munoz gets to him. Sends it back to Senesi. But, yeah, this is just too easy for Bournemouth. Palace just can't get anything going at all. And Bournemouth are hitting them on the counter. When they do, inevitably lose possession. Here's Senesi now for Bournemouth. Inside the Palace half. Truffert hugging the touchline on this near side. Back to Senesi. Just over 41 minutes gone. Here's James Hill. Trying to find Rayan, but again it's an awful touch from Devaney, and he's just given it straight back to Jimenez. He comes now, edge of the area, he's in the area now, chips it into the box, headed away by Munoz, second header, and then hacked downfield by Johnson. But again, it's just really technically dross from Palace. That ball was intercepted by Devaney, but honestly, the touch was that heavy, he just gave it straight back to Jimenez. Here's Scott. Now Senesi on halfway. 3 minutes remaining of normal time. Bournemouth 2-0 up. Could have been more. Palace, I don't think they could ever play this poorly again. They certainly can't afford it again in the second half. Great ball downfield. Evan Nielsen has snuck in behind Canvo. Tries to get the cross in on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Hits the Frenchman and goes out for a throw-in. Truffert, but I think again they're going to go for another long throw here, and why not? Why not indeed? We've seen the damage that they can cause. James Hill, the man who's going to come over, and Bournemouth here seeking to put this game to bed. And they can get a goal here, it's well and truly done and dusted. So here comes the long throw from James Hill. Booms it into the penalty area. Flick on header. It's just gone over the bar. Off the head of Rayan. Landed on, just grazed the roof of the net as it went over the crossbar. Brazilian there, just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Couldn't get his body into a right position to get any power on it. 43 gone. Goal kick to Palace. Dean Henderson lashes it downfield, but it's headed away and out for a Palace throw by Senesi. So an own goal from Jefferson Lerma on 10 minutes, and then Krupi's penalty on 32, the difference. But it has been so dominant. But they've allowed it to be. Palace have been so poor. I cannot tell you how bad they've been. Pino foul, but they break forward here with Kamada. Pino now floats it, and that's another poor pass out to that left-hand side. Easy for Jimenez. Devaney with the sliding challenge. He's won a throw-in off the shins of Jimenez. So it will be a throw, and Lerma comes trotting across. This is the only chance that they've really had. They've only had one long throw, but that was easily dealt with. Inside the final minute now of this first half. Palace here now, hoping to try and pinch something just before half-time. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it at all. Long throw comes in from Lerma, but again, easily headed away by Tyler Adams. Lerma again on that far side. Plays it down the line. Here's Jeremy Pino. Swivels, gets a great cross in, and it's gathered in by Petrovic on the edge of the 6-yard box. And that is literally as close as they've come to doing anything. And now it's a Quicksilver counter-attack here by the Cherries. Tavernier down this left-hand side, but he's puts the brakes on, sends it back to Alex Scott. Truffert to Tyler Adams inside the centre circle. Squares it across to Senesi. Then he chips a ball in over the top there, and just got the head to it there, Chadi Riyad, but well, Devaney almost lost it inside the penalty area, but his ball cleared away, but it only finds Jimenez inside added time now, which is 4 minutes. Jimenez crossing to the area, cleared away by Lacroix. Now then, Strand Larsen has it on that far side, and he wins a throw-in off the boot of Alex Jimenez. 51% possession for Bournemouth. It's felt a lot more like that. But 10 attempts to Palace's none. And I'll tell you what, if I'd made, it's not the massively long trip, but if I'd made the trip here today on to Dorset from South East London, I'd want my money back after this first 45 minutes. Palace have got a free kick just inside their own half, taken quickly, but rather disappointingly comes back to the edge of their own penalty area. And Lacroix will bring it forwards once again. Up to the halfway line, Johnson, back to Canvo, but again, no way forward. Kamada gives it away. They're just being absolutely hounded every time they have the ball. Bournemouth are all over them. Jimenez now down this right-hand side. Here's Rayan up against Devaney. He'll get round him far too easily. Into the box, squares it into the area. Lacroix clears it away from the 6-yard line. And it's going to be another corner for Bournemouth on that right-hand side. Far too easy there, Rayan. Just ghosted round Devaney far too easily. And then it was hacked out of play by Lerma eventually. But you just feel there's another goal coming imminently, because Palace here are just all over the place. 7th corner of the afternoon for Bournemouth. Bright sunshine now here at the Vitality Stadium. And we've played 2 minutes of the added 4. So Tavernier, again, curling towards the back post, but it's too strong. Goes over everybody and out for a goal kick. They do like those hooping corners to the back post, Bournemouth. But you've got to get it right. It's not always easy to get the strength of it right, and that time Tavernier just too much on it. It sailed over everybody's head and out for a goal kick. Andoni Iarola will be very happy with what he's seen so far. I don't think Oliver Glasner will be at all. Henderson, long kick downfield. Palace have it. Kamada inside the Bournemouth half. But again, it's a poor pass. Well, they're going to get a free kick here because Jimenez came in through the back of Devaney there. But every pass from Palace is like, it's under hit. It's played into traffic. Bournemouth, it's just too easy for them to defend. But an opportunity here. Free kick for Palace over on that far left-hand side. Halfway inside the Bournemouth half. We're now inside the final minute of added time, so they need to get a move on here. And most of the players camped on the edge of the penalty area, waiting for this free kick to come in. Well, they've gone sideways and short. Now here's Jeremy Pino, and that's blocked and goes straight to Bournemouth. Complete and utter waste. They've got the ball back here, but you know, when you played as poorly as this, you're 2-0 down, get the ball into the box, and they just didn't. It's just negative, really poor that. And the header comes out here, and Truffert will roll it back to Senesi. His ball downfield will only find Kamada, but now we're in added time of added time, and in fact that is the half-time whistle. 2-0 Bournemouth. Palace absolutely woeful. Own goal from Lerma on 10 minutes when a corner came in, glancing header from Evan Nielsen. Lerma tried to head it away at the back post, but only succeeded in putting it over the goal line, despite the efforts of Dean Henderson to claw it away. And then Henderson came out for a long throw, plucked the ball out of the air, and then dropped it on his way down. And as he tried to recover the ball, he clipped the heel of Senesi with his knee. Harsh penalty for me, but it was beautifully taken by Krupi on 32 minutes. So, comfortable for the Cherries. We'll be back in 15 for full second half commentary. Crystal Palace surely cannot be that bad again in the second half. Half time here, Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 0. We'll be back. Well, welcome back to the Vitality Stadium. I'm Joe Mills for this Premier League clash between Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. 2-0 to Bournemouth at half-time, and unsurprisingly, 3 changes made here by Oliver Glasner. Crystal Palace were utterly dreadful in that first half. Tyrick Mitchell is one of the players coming on. I'm just trying to see who the other 2 are. But yes, 2-0 down. They offered absolutely nothing in that first half. And a big hangover from the European travails on Thursday evening, of course, where they got a fantastic result against Shakhtar Donetsk. They're in the home strip of all white, trimmed with red and blue. Bournemouth in the red and black stripes with the black shorts and the black socks. And Palace will be playing from right to left in this second half. Our referee is Robert Jones. We're back underway. I'll just fill you in with those substitutions when we get that information through. There's a foul immediately here. Palace have a free kick taken quickly by Canvo on the halfway line. Ball has gone out of play. It will be a throw-in for Crystal Palace. So Oliver Glasner making changes. He did make 6 changes coming into this game, and they just looked all over the place. Palace. Adam Wharton is on. He has the ball now. Whips it into the penalty area, and a slip from Bournemouth, and ball breaks here for Mitchell inside the box, squares it back across, shot comes in from Strand Larsen, but he couldn't quite get any power on it, and already within 1 minute they've done more than they did in the entire first half. There's a slip there by Senesi, which allowed the ball to come through, but a disappointing effort there. So Munoz, Pino and Kamada are the players who've come off, and Tyrick Mitchell, Ismail Assar and Adam Wharton are the players that have come on for Crystal Palace. That will definitely strengthen them coming into this second period. A little bit more creativity. They did look very leggy, and it's no surprise that it's a couple of the players there that have come off that actually did play on Thursday evening. Now then, here is Rayan, edge of the box for Bournemouth, squares it to the front of the penalty area. Now here is Adrian Truffert. They are forced back a little bit here. Senesi. Now the ball played round the back here. Truffert now crosses from the byline to the back post. Header from Rayan, but it's over the bar again from the Brazilian. Just couldn't get down over the top of it. And Bournemouth here starting where they left off after that little effort from Crystal Palace within the first minute, but that was too easy again, getting in round the back. And the header from Rayan just over the crossbar. So goal kick for Palace. Henderson waves all the players downfield, launches it up towards the edge of the centre circle. Towering header from James Hill. The challenge for it again comes out to Mitchell on this near side. Still bright sunshine here on the Dorset coast. 2 more games to come in the Premier League, and that's another poor ball again out to that far side from Lacroix, another player who played on Thursday. Misplaced it. Canvo couldn't get to it before it went out of play for a Bournemouth throw. Liverpool are taking on Manchester United, and then this evening Aston Villa against Tottenham. So much riding on both of those games. Champions League places, and of course for Tottenham, an opportunity to get out of the bottom 3. Long ball downfield, headed down by Strand Larsen into the path of Johnson. Strand Larsen now plays it into the box, nearly got it back from Sarr. That's better from Palace. Cleared out by Senesi for a corner, and this will be Palace's first corner of the afternoon. And I'm sure that Oliver Glasner had some pretty stern words at half-time. And 3 of those players that did play in Poland on Thursday have been removed and replaced by 3 which also played. But of course, a little bit of a rest for them. So Adam Wharton with this corner, 49 minutes gone. And despite all the domination, and it's cleared away by Bournemouth from the edge of the area, it's still only 2-0. Excuse me. So Palace will know, and if they can, I mean, it goes without saying they have to score next. But if they can pinch one, then they're back in this, despite being completely and utterly outplayed in that first half. And they've shown better signs, but Bournemouth have also looked dangerous, as they have done all game. As Rayan now comes down this right-hand side, he's got the legs here on Radi Chiad, gets to the, Chadi Riyad, I got my spoonerism wrong there, but the Moroccan just did enough there to see that ball over the line and out for a goal kick. Rayan there putting the burners on, but Riyad stuck with him to his credit and made sure that ball stayed over the line there and out for a goal kick. So 50 minutes on the clock. Why are they going for a short goal kick here? Just get on with it. It's just nonsense. Dean Henderson could have done exactly what Lacroix's just done there, and that's just boot it downfield. Don't get it at all. Johnson's miscontrolled it. Bournemouth are now have a free kick because that's a foul on Evan Nielsen by Canvo. He has to be careful. He's booked, as is Lacroix. The last thing Palace need is to go down to 10 men. And the way things are turning out so far this afternoon. It's a free kick to the Cherries, taken quickly, just roll back to the halfway line. This is Alex Jimenez. Being hounded there by Brennan Johnson. The Welshman's done well. He's won the ball back for Palace. Now then, they can break down this left-hand side, but Johnson just walked into traffic there. Mitchell has done well there. He's got a free kick out of it. He's been good since he's come on, Tyrick Mitchell. So a free kick to Palace. 51 minutes gone here at the Vitality Stadium. And it was a heavy touch from Alex Jimenez, and then he clipped Tyrick Mitchell as he tried to regain the ball. Just caught his heel. So a free kick to Palace. About 10 yards in from touch on this near side. About 10 yards inside the Bournemouth half. Adam Wharton standing over this, the England international. Out swinging ball towards that far side of the penalty area, then headed back towards the penalty spot, headed away by Bournemouth, and then a pretty hefty challenge coming in there on Devaney by Krupi. So it's going to be another free kick for Palace. Yeah, just shoulder charged him down to the floor there, the young Frenchman. Was never getting anywhere near the ball. So this is in a better spot now for Palace. Free kick. 52 minutes gone, and already they've had a corner and just everything that didn't happen in that first period. This is pretty much slap bang in the middle of the pitch. Looking at it from behind, it's probably about 30 centimetres to the right of the penalty spot in terms of being central to the goal. So it's in a really good spot here for Adam Wharton. It's in a good distance as well. It's about 30 yards out. Every player, bar two, Johnson and Wharton, are on the edge of the penalty area. It is going to be Johnson. Oh, that's absolutely dire. Absolute dross, that from Johnson. Chipped it out to the left. It sails over everybody and out for a goal kick. You know, for a professional player and an international player, that is absolutely abysmal from Brennan Johnson there. He's so low on confidence, you can see, and it's so evident, and now he's fouled there trying to win the ball back. Krupi's gone down as well. But since he's moved from Tottenham, where he sort of fell out of favour there, he's just not the player that he was, particularly when he was maybe at Nottingham Forest. Maybe, yeah, he's just really struggling. And that free kick was absolutely awful. I don't think I've ever seen a free kick as bad as that. Glasner was just turned away. He was, oh dear mate. But this is much better though from Palace in this second half. They're still in this, just ball downfield, looking for the run here of Sarr. Wharton gathers it in again. Strand-Larsen plays it infield to Lerma. He gets a good ball, edge of the area. Sarr over to Mitchell now. He's inside the area, gets it to the byline, tries the cross. It's blocked by Jimenez, and Bournemouth will bring it in. But that's a poor touch, and it breaks now for Lerma. Now Sarr, edge of the area, tussling with Senesi. It's now Bournemouth who are being sloppy. Whip back in, and Strand-Larsen can't wrap his boot round it on the edge of the 6-yard box. But I think it's going to be another corner over on that far side. Different team, Palace, in this second half. And Bournemouth look as they've put the cue on the rack a little bit here. No, it's going to be a goal kick. Thought it might have taken a little nick, but straight come off the shin of the Norwegian there. But they are starting to ask a few more questions now. Wharton, Mitchell and Sarr have made a big difference to this Palace team. That's a poor ball downfield by Bournemouth, goes out of play for a throw-in. Long throw up to halfway. They just looked as if they've got a lot more energy now. And of course, with the likes of Sarr, who's dangerous up front now. That's a good ball down the left for Lerma. He needs help though. Has to go back infield. This is Adam Wharton now. Well, that's a poor ball, intercepted by Evan Nielsen. Just telegraphed it there, really. Now Truther has to switch inside, plays it back to Senesi. Now James Hill. This is Jimenez now. Lots of space here now for the Spaniard. He goes galloping inside the Palace half down this right-hand side. But that's a poor ball out to the right. Mitchell has to play at it because he wanted to let it go, but it wasn't going. And Bournemouth have won the ball back here. Alex Scott. Now Tavernier. Edge of the box, left-hand side, but he loses the ball. And Lacroix hammers it downfield, but Bournemouth win it on the halfway line. Here's James Hill for Bournemouth. 56 minutes gone. This is far much more of a contest now. I think it's a little combination of Bournemouth just maybe got a little bit complacent, and Palace, of course, had an absolute roasting at half-time, and the 3 substitutions have really done the trick so far. They look a lot more confident and proactive than they did in that first half. So throw-in taken quickly. Lerma, looping ball downfield. Well defended though there by Senesi, but his ball downfield only comes to the feet of Jefferson Lerma. He has it now in centre field. Plays it into Johnson. Now then, he's inside the area, but again he tries to wriggle his way through. Loses possession, but it's quickly won back by Strand-Larsen. Now Mitchell on this near side. They're doubling up on him. He still manages to get a good cross in though. Well, I say that, it's gone. It looked initially like a decent cross, and then it's gone absolutely soaring across the face of goal and out near the corner flag on the opposite side. But considering he had 2 men on him, he did well to even get a cross in at all there. The Palace fans doing their utmost to try and get their team moving here. Goal kick taken short. Hill, side-footed pass up to halfway, but again Bournemouth give away the ball. Mitchell gathers that in. Now here's Adam Wharton. That's not the best pass either. That's sloppy again from Wharton. That's not normally his game. Such a good passer of the ball. Now then, this is brilliant from Tavernier on that far side. And now the little turn from Evan Nielsen. Gets into the box, chips it, penalty spot, shot comes in here. It's blocked from Krupi and then cleared away from Palace. But that was excellent play from Marcus Tavernier. Ghosting down that left-hand side, and Palace have given it away again. Jimenez, brilliant ball into the area along the floor, but just doesn't get to Krupi before Henderson comes out and gets there first. It was a fabulous break down the left from Tavernier, then brilliant work from Evan Nielsen. It's the drop in the shoulder, getting away from his man. Chipped it towards the penalty spot. Krupi had time to take a touch, but his shot was straight into Tyrick Mitchell. 59 minutes gone. Palace come forward again now, but that's another poor ball down the right channel, easily picked up here by Senesi. They are a bit better, Palace, but they're still pretty awful. As Tavernier comes down this left-hand side, Bournemouth now starting to build up a head of steam themselves, but that's a poor ball across the pitch there, easily defended by Lerma on the edge of the area. Here's Johnson. Ball comes in again. Wharton flicks it round the corner out to Devaney on that far right-hand side. Coming up to the hour mark, still 2-0. But it is more of a game now. It's a lot more end-to-end. Georgi Petrovic, he had absolutely nothing to do in that first half. Here's Mitchell now on this near side, halfway inside the Bournemouth half, just stops, fires it across to Adam Wharton. Lacroix, now Chadi Riyad, back to Maxence Lacroix, and then it comes out to this far side to JD Canvo, now Devaney, back to Lacroix. Big tall Frenchman brings the ball forward, but he's got no options here. He's had to put it out. Now Devaney whips a ball in from the touchline, but it's easily headed away by James Hill, but it'll only find Tyrick Mitchell. He whips across in towards the back post, headed away again, but Devaney coming in at that back post area, but it cannons off the shin of the Northern Irishman and out for a goal kick. Just over an hour gone. Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 0. Jefferson Lerma own goal on 10 minutes, and then a rather controversial for me penalty converted beautifully by Junior Krupi just after the half-hour mark. That is the difference so far. But Palace have been a lot better in this second half, but they still are being very sloppy on the ball. Bournemouth win that header. Krupi, is that a foul? Yes, it is. It's brought down halfway inside the Palace half. So it will be a free kick to Bournemouth. Beautiful afternoon now here on the Dorset coast. Bright sunshine. It was overcast and a bit cloudy when we kicked off. Alex Scott standing over the ball here. Halfway inside the Palace half, just to the right of the goal. All the players massing over to that left-hand side of the penalty area, just on the edge. Scott with this free kick chips it into that penalty area on the left-hand side, headed across by Palace and then cleared away, but Bournemouth well, the offside flag has gone up in fact on this near side, so it will be a free kick to Palace. And yeah, from a neutral point of view, it'll be really interesting if Palace can somehow snatch a goal here. It will be an interesting end to the game, because they've been so poor for much of it. A little bit better in this second period. They're not really threatened at all. Here's a long ball down the field again, looking for Strand Larsen. Almost got in round the back there, but Petrovic came out and just plucked it out of the air before the Norwegian could do any more damage. That was Route 1 stuff there, but it almost worked. Bournemouth trying to play the ball out here, being hemmed in to that far touchline. Senesi plays the ball upfield. Now Truffert, Evan Nielsen on halfway. Clever footballer, the Brazilian. He's got lovely touch. And it comes out here now to Rayan. Fed back to the halfway line, gathered in by Tyler Adams. And now the long ball up the middle by Senesi. But Krupi can't gather it in. Palace then fire it back upfield. Devaney. Back to Canvo. Now here's Lacroix, edge of his area. Now Chadi Riyad straightens up, comes up through the middle, plays the ball up to the edge of the centre circle, flick round the corner by Strand Larsen, but it's intercepted by Evan Nielsen, who then goes down under a challenge and he loses the ball, but the referee plays on. Strand Larsen now does well to hold the ball up, feeds it into the area. Brennan Johnson trying to twist and turn. He gets a left foot shot in, but he was off balance and there was no power. It was along the floor. It was going to miss anyway, but Petrovic is down at his near post to make the save. That's the first save he's had to make, but I can tell you all that it was not going in. It was about a foot wide of that post. But again, signs of life from the Eagles here. Signs of life. 64 minutes gone. I think as far as Bournemouth are concerned, they'll be just looking to put this game to bed, because at 2-0, it's not over yet, despite how poor Palace have been. That's a good ball down the field for Rayan, but he just runs out of land there, and it goes out for a goal kick. I can see that Palace are going to bring on another substitute, and it is Jean-Philippe Mateta. The big Frenchman is coming on for Jurgen Strand-Larsen, so a straight swap there. Mateta started the game in Poland on Thursday evening. Strand-Larsen came off the bench, so they've swapped again now. So can the talismanic French striker get Palace back into this game? 65 minutes on the clock. Goal kick to Palace. Well, again, the faffing around here, and it's rolled from the edge of the 6-yard box back to the keeper, and I just don't get it. And that's a poor ball upfield by Henderson. It's bounced over the head of Camvo and out for a throw-in. What a complete waste of time. No one will convince me why that is ever a good idea, those short goal kicks. I don't get it. You're just asking for trouble. Here's Evan Nielsen. He loses the ball. Now then, Palace will look to come forward here, shoving the back there by Alex Scott on Maxence Lacroix, and that will be a free kick to Palace on the halfway line over on that far right hand side. 2-0, 65.5 minutes on the clock. Adam Wharton standing over this, just nudges it back to Lacroix, and he goes through the middle, but it's evaded everybody. That'll be tidied up by James Hill on this near side. Well, I say that, he tried to clear it downfield, but it came off the shins of Brennan Johnson, and it's gone out for a goal kick near the corner flag. He just couldn't quite retrieve it. So a goal kick for Bournemouth. And David Brooks is about to come on for Bournemouth, the Welshman. The captain's armband on against Leeds, and now Bournemouth have done one of those silly goal kicks as well. Hill plays it along the floor, upfield. Rayan does well to hold it up. Now Tyler Adams, this is Alex Scott. Tries to play the ball up that left-hand side, but it's an errant pass straight to the feet of Devaney. Now then, here comes Mitchell down this left-hand side, plays it round the back, but it wasn't the best pass there. It was difficult for Johnson to get on the end of it. But I think he may have won a throw-in for his team here, just at the side of the penalty area, and Lerma will come across. Of course, they don't have Chris Richards out there at the moment, who was launching in some missiles on Thursday evening from the side. The long throws from the big American defender. Will be the Colombian Lerma take this throw in now. 67.5 gone. Throw-in comes in, glancing header towards the back post, but there's nobody in a white shirt there to get on the end of it, and it's played down this far left hand side, and Bournemouth now bring it forward with Scott, and now Truffert into the middle of the pitch. Tavernier gets away from his man, plays a ball into the edge of the penalty area, but that was good work. Oh, now it's been given away by Mitchell. Here's Rayan, but it's been saved there. He tried to play it infield, and he hit it straight to Rayan. And luckily, I think it was Lacroix that came over to save him there. Yes, it was. Rayan was honing in on the edge of the 6-yard box there from that poor pass from Tyrick Mitchell. And I think James Hill is one of the men who is coming off. And also, well, we're going to see, Junior Krupi. And, it's Krupi and Tyler Adams are the men to come off. And we're going to see David Brooks and Ryan Christie. Those were the two men that were replaced from the game against Leeds United. So we've got a Welshman and a Scotsman coming on. Christie, of course, is the club captain. So 69 minutes gone. Still 2-0 to Bournemouth. So David Brooks and Ryan Christie come on. And still fairly comfortable for Bournemouth. They've got a long throw here. It will be James Hill to deliver it. Referee Robert Jones just coming into the penalty area there to speak to some players. There's a bit of shenanigans going on. So Hill, booming throw into the penalty area, headed away by Mateta. And Mitchell gets to it first. He hammers it downfield, but it's easily intercepted there by Alex Scott. Jimenez back to Alex Scott. He has it on halfway. Being forced to send it back to Petrovic. And it comes out to this far left side. Trufair with the ball downfield. Headed away by Lacroix. Wharton gathers it in. And then another long ball. Route one again for Palace. Sarr can't get his head to it. Senesi does. But the ball breaks for Adam Wharton on this far side. Played down the line. But again, it's another rotten pass. Devaney had to really stretch to bring it in. And then Wharton is dispossessed. And now Bournemouth will look to break downfield. Here's Rayan. Now then, this looks dangerous. He slips the ball through here, slides, and then, oh, it just went through to Henderson. Evan Nielsen there had to stretch out his leg. He had Jimenez with him, and now Palace will look to break themselves. Here is Wharton, who's been uncharacteristically sloppy since he's come on. Now Mitchell. Back to Chadi Riyad. And then out to Canvo on this far right hand side. In the shadows there, Devaney back into Adam Wharton, who has it on halfway. He plays a nice ball up to Mateta, but he can't control it. And Bournemouth will break again here, and that's a foul by Mateta on David Brooks. Tug on the shirt of the Welshman, who has now taken the captain's armband. That could have been a dangerous counter there for Bournemouth. Just the slide rule ball through there was just too strong for Evan Nielsen to do anything with it. 72 minutes gone. Still 2-0 to Bournemouth, but it's been a very different animal this second period. Palace have been a lot better. Bournemouth haven't found it as easy in this second half, but Palace have still not really posed that much of a threat. So you have to say at this stage that Bournemouth are pretty much firm favourites to get the 3 points here. Unless something, of course, very dramatic happens, which can happen. But at the moment, you just don't see it. Brooks does well to keep that ball in, but as he brings it back in field, it's intercepted by Riyad. Now Mitchell plays it down the line, flick round the corner by Brennan Johnson. Mateta uses his strength there to hold the ball up. Now it comes out to this far side now. He is Justin Devaney. Now Lerma, edge of the centre circle, just inside the Bournemouth half. Nudges it across to Riyad. Now here's Lacroix. He plays a good ball up through the middle, picked up by Ismail Assar. Now Devaney on this right-hand side, that far side. Back it comes to Canvo. He puts the ball... Oh, that's another rotten cross. Sails over the head of everyone and out for a goal kick. Over near the back post. 73 minutes gone. Still 2-0 to Bournemouth. Palace here. Just struggling this afternoon. Quick turnaround for them. And it's very much shown so far today. Here is James Hill now. Long punt downfield. Sails over the head of Rayan. Mitchell will look to tidy this up, but the Brazilian is all over him here, and he ends up putting it out for a throw-in for Palace on this near side, which Mitchell will take. I think we've got another break in play here. I think we might be getting... Oh no, it's Palace player is down. Looks like it's Chadi Riyad, the Moroccan. Just sat himself down here. He's feeling the backs of his legs. hamstring area. And we're going to get a little break in play here, or are we? No, he's been helped up to his feet. We just felt a twinge there. But, well, we're going to get a double, another. Well, Chris Richards is now going to come on, so that'll be a straight swap. Maybe Canvo will switch over to the left-hand side because Richards normally plays on the right of that back three. And Riyad looks as if he's going to come off here, the Moroccan. So another change for Palace. The imposing figure of the American international Chris Richards, who of course possesses that booming throw, although Lerma's throws haven't been that bad, to be fair. So Richards readies himself to come on. And Riyad just making his way around the back of the goal now, as Chris Richards comes onto the field. Yeah, and he's going to play on the right side of that three. Canvo switching over to the left. Here is Tyrick Mitchell now. He has this throw. One throw down the line, trying to find Mateta. And they've got another throw here, Palace, on this near side. Sarr winning that one for them. Johnson will take the throw, but not from there. He's going to have to come back about another 10 yards. Mitchell has it in his hands now. 76 minutes gone. It's getting to the point of now or never, really, for Palace. They want to get something out of this game. One throw downfield, Mateta just missed, kicked it there, and then another awful pass across the field there from Lerma, but Devaney gets to it in the nick of time. Richards, now Lacroix. Ball out to Mitchell. Nudges it up in the air, heads it forward, but another poor ball doesn't find Johnson. Now David Brooks has it for Bournemouth, plays it in. They're in the area here. Raya, 3-0. Rayan Rocha. Tight angle on that right-hand side of the penalty area, and he's drilled it across the face of Dean Henderson into the far side of the net, and that is game over now. Well, that was a delightful pass, but again it came from Palace giving the ball away. It was a gorgeous ball from David Brooks. He played it through a really tight channel, and that was quite an acute angle there. Rayan getting in around the back there. He had Evan Nielsen to his left, but he opted to go for the shot, and Dean Henderson will be disappointed there. He's done him. He's gone across him. Pinpoint accuracy there from the Brazilian. Bournemouth 3, Crystal Palace 0, and that is game over. I mean, I think it was before, but it certainly is now. And it's been a walk in the park really today for Bournemouth, who, as I said, are up to 6th in the Premier League now, and we'll be dreaming very much of European football. What an achievement that will be for this club. That will be the legacy of Andoni Iraola, who of course will be leaving at the end of the season. Marco Rosa already in place to come in as Bournemouth come forward again here now. We've got the tails up. Here's Rayan again, floats the ball out to this left-hand side, but that's only going to find the head of Devaney, but that header goes straight to Ryan Christie. The Scotsman has it again over on that far side, back to Senesi. Plays the ball through. David Brooks now turns. It gets into the area, tries a shot, big deflection, and it's side-footed downfield by Canvo, but gathered in by Alex Scott. Sends it back to Hill on halfway. Now Jimenez. Bournemouth look like they've really pepped up now after that goal. That's a poor heavy touch though from Brooks, which allows Mitchell to take it away from him. Now Wharton comes up through the middle, chips the ball downfield looking for Mateta, but again only finds Truffert. Little flick round the corner. This is good stuff now from Bournemouth. One-touch football. Though Christie here forced back towards the sideline, and Chris Richards, well, he thought he'd won a throw-in, but it's gone the other way. Got to replace the divots over there. So a throw-in, and we're going to see a change here as well. Enes Ünal, the Turkish striker, is going to replace Evan Nielsen for the last 10 minutes or so. A good performance from the Brazilian striker. Not on the score sheet today, but certainly played his part. Now Senesi, booming volley upfield from that throw-in. Camvo plays the ball along the floor, but it goes straight to a red and black shirt on halfway. Now here's Alex Scott. Halfway line. Drills a ball out to the left-hand side, but far too strong. Sails over the head of Tavernier. And out for a throw-in for Palace, which will be taken by Justin Devenny. Well, he wants to take the throw-in, but no one's offering for it at all. Absolutely nobody. Nobody's offering for it. They're all just stood there. Finally, someone comes for it. And they've won themselves another one now, just a little bit further up the pitch, just inside the Bournemouth half. Throw-in taken. Good, clever header downfield there. Almost found Mateta, who had Senesi on his shoulder. Long ball downfield by Bournemouth, but that will be tidied up by Lacroix. Rolls it back to Dean Henderson. Has to get rid of it sharpish. 80.5 minutes gone. This is Tyrick Mitchell. Now JD Camvo. Now Chris Richards. The time for Palace to get, again, it's another fairly tight turnaround. They'll be back at Selhurst Park on Thursday evening with a 3-1 advantage over Shakhtar Donetsk. It's going to be a free kick here for Palace. Foul by Tavernier on on Devenny. So free kick to Palace near this near touchline, but not far from being level with the penalty area. And again, Wharton standing over this, just in the shaded area of the field over on that far side. So every man inside the penalty area pretty much here. Just the one-man wall for Bournemouth, just on the edge of the penalty area, on the side of the penalty area. So Wharton getting ready to deliver this now for Palace. 82 minutes on the clock. In-swinger comes in from Wharton, headed away, then headed back towards the penalty spot. Flick header, and did it come off Mateta? It did, but he couldn't steer it home. He had his back to goal, and he just tried to, I think, loop it over his shoulder, but it goes wide of the post. And it's a goal kick for Bournemouth. 82 minutes gone. Comfortable afternoon for the Cherries. They lead by 3-0. An own goal on 10 minutes from Jefferson Lerma. A 32nd minute penalty, a harsh one, I think, converted by Krupi. And then Rayan, 75th minute goal from a tight angle. Gorgeous finish. Now this is better from Palace, coming downfield. Johnson plays the ball into the area. Now then, Petrovic has come out. The Palace player's taken a tumble, but the referee not interested. It's Ismail Assar just making that run down the right channel there. Got in round the back. He was onside. Petrovic came out, but he didn't gather the ball in completely, but he did touch it and palm it away. And Sarr just fell over Petrovic's hand. It was never a penalty. 83 minutes gone. Here's Lacroix. Stabs it back to Dean Henderson. Has the ball at his feet now. Bournemouth not interested in the press. So a long punt downfield again, looking for Mateta. He holds it up well with his back to goal. Finds Brennan Johnson now in centre field. But he runs into traffic as he tries a shot, and it gets blocked. Balloons back up into the air. Bournemouth win it back on the edge of the centre circle. Nice looping ball by Rayan out to this far left-hand side. Now then, opportunity here. Tavernier whips again. Great ball in. Flick header by Lacroix, but Bournemouth will gather it on the dead ball line. And they'll work it back to Jimenez. He whips another cross in there, but that's poor. All the way through to Henderson straight into his hands. 84 minutes gone. Still 3-0 to Bournemouth here. What has been a very comfortable afternoon. And their great run of form continues. And they can be very much dreaming of European football. 3 games to go. It's in their hands. Of course, they'll have the likes of maybe Brighton and Fulham. Everton, again, all vying for those, you would say, Europa League and Conference League spots now. But as I said, Palace, even though they're 14th coming into this, I don't think now they're going to qualify through their league position after today. But of course, they are 90 minutes away from the final of the Conference League, and if they end up winning it, then they're back in Europe. Double change for Bournemouth now for the last 5 minutes. Rayan and Tavernier are the 2 players who are about to come off. And by the looks of it, I think it's Alex Toth and Ben Gannon-Doak who are going to come on. Or maybe I've got that wrong. You know, Tavernier and Rayan are definitely... Or it might be Diakite. No, it's... It is Ben Gannon-Doak, and it's going to be Amin Adli, the Moroccan. So 85.5 minutes gone. Ben Gannon-Doak, former Liverpool player, Scotland international. Throw here for Bournemouth. Alex Jimenez will be the man to take it. Gannon-Doak back to Jimenez. Now sent back to Hill, but his ball downfield just sails out of play for a throw-in for Palace. 4 minutes of normal time remaining. Just going through the motions here now, really. Comes back to Henderson, and again, little Cruyff turn there to avoid the onrushing Unal. Putting him under pressure. Canvo back to Lacroix. Now Chris Richards, the best touch from the American, comes back to Henderson again. He has to move quickly to get the ball out of danger. And his ball downfield sails out for a throw-in, which David Brooks will take on the halfway line. Or maybe not. No, he's going to give that to Truffert. Just inside the Palace half. 87 minutes gone. Throw down that left-hand flank, but it can't be gathered in. And Palace will come away with it here, up the middle of the pitch. With Lerma, of course, used to play for Bournemouth. Comes out to Richards on that far side now for Palace. Now Adam Wharton. This is Lacroix on halfway. Now Canvo. It's all side to side. They're working really hard here off the ball, are Bournemouth, forcing Palace back time and time again. There's good pressing there from Amin Adli. Henderson. Long punt downfield again. Miscontrolled there by Truffert. Almost fell into the path of Mateta. But Palace have won the ball anyway over on that far side. They're being hounded all the way back here, Devaney. And he has to send it back towards his keeper. He's just working so hard off the ball, Bournemouth. They just don't give Palace a minute as soon as the ball comes to them. Lacroix once again. Chips the ball delicately up to the halfway line. Alex Scott wins the header. Headed back downfield and tidied up. And comes back to Petrovic in the Bournemouth goal. Chips the ball up to the halfway line. Simple header for Richards back into the Bournemouth half. Now here is Lerma. Floats it out to this left-hand side to Tyrick Mitchell. Good ball infield. This is Canvo. Now Lacroix once more. Here's Wharton. Gets away from his man there brilliantly. Chips it into the back post here. This is a chance. Oh, they've hit the post. It's Sarr. Comes back to Mitchell. Fires it in. Then it's cleared away. Oh, Ismaila Sarr ghosted in. Unmarked at the back post there. Side-footed volley from the edge of the 6-yard box straight into the post. and that's the best opportunity they've had. And now Bournemouth have the break on here. Ball nudged through, and then a good sliding challenge from Lacroix to put the ball out for a throw-in on this near side, near the corner flag, inside the final minute of normal time now. There was a lovely little dink. Well, actually, Sarr was offside, looking at that again. So I don't think it would have counted anyway. It was a deft little chip from Adam Wharton towards the back post. And Sarr side-footing it into the near post there. Here's Scott now for Bournemouth. Oh, nice ball into the area through the middle. Bournemouth player gone down. Appeals for a penalty. Referee not interested because the offside flag is up anyway. It was Unyal who went down under the challenge, but it was a lovely little dink ball through the middle, and he was offside, clearly offside there. The Turkish striker. And now we come to added time. Imagine there be 4 minutes again here, just like we had in the first half. And Henderson puts the ball down on the edge of the penalty area, waves everybody forward. So Bournemouth's impressive run is set to continue here. Well, Palace have been markedly better in this second half, but nowhere near good enough to repair the damage of an atrocious first 45 minutes. Now then, ball breaks here for Palace inside the area, and it's driven across the face of goal by Sarr. And, well, that was another opportunity there. Just took it with his back to goal and then dragged it across the face of the goal there. But the Palace fans still cheering away. They've been excellent this afternoon. Crystal Palace not on a great run actually in the league. The last win came on the 12th of April. Good win away at Newcastle United. And then a 0-0 draw at home to West Ham, and then of course beaten by Liverpool by 3-1. It was Bournemouth. Wow, they haven't lost in about 8 or 9 games. And that run's going to carry on here. But Palace win the ball back on halfway. Can they make something of this? Now Sarr has it. Bit of space, but that's a poor pass. It's easily intercepted by Jimenez, who goes galloping downfield now. This could be another counter-attack goal here. Oh, he tried a shot from the edge of the box as no one was coming out to meet him, but it was blocked. Mitchell will keep it in play and then will bring it forward. Quite a few draws for Bournemouth in their last few games, but of course they had that 2 great away wins at Arsenal and Newcastle. But mixed in there were draws to Leeds, Manchester United, Burnley and Brentford. So it has been a little bit of a mixed bag, but the fact is they're unbeaten, and that's what it's all about. Foul for Palace, but the play advantage comes out to this far right-hand side. Ball whipped in, but straight into the arms of Petrovic. 90 seconds remaining. He rolls the ball out. Ryan Christie will bring it forward here for Bournemouth, who lead by 3-0. What has been a very comfortable afternoon for the Cherries here. Here's Alex Scott. And it comes out to Jimenez on this near side. Now Ben Gannon, Doak, back to James Hill. Petrovic has the ball at his feet once again. Inside the final minute now. And Bournemouth cruising to 3 well-earned points, which will see them into 6th spot on the Premier League ladder, and very much in pole position to try and get European football. They'll be targeting the Europa League. I don't think they're going to get that 5th spot, particularly if Villa win tonight. They're already 6 points behind Villa as it stands, but it's a race really. Everton, Fulham, Chelsea, Brighton and Brentford all in that mix for the Europa and Conference spots. maybe a couple of other teams as well, but it's as results go. So it's a free kick here, though, for Bournemouth, about 25 yards out in the dying seconds. Well, we're in overtime of overtime. So it's going to be, this could probably end up being the last action of the game. About 25 yards out, this free kick. And Palace forming a wall on the edge of the box. Oh, come on, boys, get on with it. We're in overtime of overtime here. And Unal standing over this. About 30 yards out. And it'll be interesting to see what he does with this. So, takes a big step back, the Turkish striker. So Enes Unyal tries the long one. Well, it hits the wall and balloons out to this right-hand side. Bournemouth still retain possession. Gannon Doak. And the ball whipped him once again towards that back post. Another Bournemouth player's gone down in the area, but the referee is not interested. Or is he? I don't know. Well, they fired it into the wall. They surely can't claim that's a handball by Mateta. Jumping away, raised his arm, it hit him on the elbow. So, no, nothing's going to come of that. And in fact, that is the full-time whistle. So it's finished here at the Vitality Stadium. A comfortable win for Bournemouth. They're up to 6th. They've beaten Crystal Palace by 3-0. I've been Joe Mills. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Final score here, Bournemouth 3, Crystal Palace 0. Bye for now.